The devil's on the loose and he's dancing with the mummy.
Deep from the bowels of the Macabre Theater Laboratory, we bring you Macabre Cast. Doc Mark and Karis, the Little Mummy, here to bring you another episode of Macabre Cast, where we'll be dropping R's where they belong and adding them where they don't. Hello, Karis. Newbies, welcome. Regulars, welcome back. Worshippers, may the mummy get you while you sleep.
Yeah, real nice. Real nice. Good way to stereotype. You know, we all don't stalk and go after humans. That's kind of just the movies. Again, as I've said before, I'm just poor innocent guy that when he died, they removed all his organs and wrapped him up.
Well, monster kids, old and new, if you enjoy the show and you like this show, tell your friends, especially if they're horror fans. We keep creeping up there in followers, but we can always use more. And if you do have a friend that listens, but they're a little bashful, maybe you can talk them into leaving a voice message and joining the family.
Yeah. Enough with the plugs. Because I got a joke. Why is the cemetery the best location to write a movie?
Oh, I don't know, Karis, the funny mummy. Why is a cemetery the best location to write a movie?
Because it has a great number of plots.
Well, and on that note, Monster Kids, you know what time it is. It's time for horror news.
Life's river showers, she said, open only the strong shall survive. She said, but I'm feeling quite weak. She said.
Roger Corman's first production, Monster from the Bottom of the Ocean Floor, comes to Blu-ray in February of 2025. A few horror news segments back, I reported that Austin Butler would be playing the role of Patrick Bateman in American Psycho reboot. But alas, the actual writer of American Psycho, Bret Easton Ellis, says that is nothing more than fake news. He states no contract exists with Austin Butler. Demi Moore won the Golden Globe Award for Best Actress in The Substance. This was her first award for acting. Not bad for someone who started as the model for the poster of I Spit on Your Grave. And that's it for horror news.
She said.
And Brownie agrees. Brownie, the corpse-sniffing dog.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
I'm knocking at the door, somebody ringing the bell. Someone's knocking at the door, somebody ringing the bell. Do me a favor, open the door and let him in.
Hey, Doc Mark and Little Karis, it's Horror Chat checking in again, and I want to share with everybody this week my top 5 things I'm looking forward to in 2025 in the world of macabre and horror. Right off the bat, I am very excited for the new Wolfman movie. My hopes were somewhat dashed with that trailer from a couple of months ago. But I have faith that we will get a decent Wolfman movie out of this thing when all is said and done. Following up, number 4 is 28 Years Later, the sequel to 28 Days and 28 Weeks Later. The trailer looked amazing. I'm really excited for it. I think it'll be well worth the hype once it finally gets here. And just to touch on something we always talk about, the importance of physical media. If you actually have a copy of one of these two movies, they're worth a pretty penny. I don't know if there's an issue with the rights, but I guess they've never been re-released. So whatever's out there is all that's out there. And people are paying some crazy prices on secondary markets for these things. So if you have one, you need a little extra walking around money in your pocket, definitely head to eBay or somewhere else and get yourself some quick bucks. Number 3 on my list is Stephen King has a new book coming out this year called Never Flinch, starring Holly Gibney from the novel Mr. Mercedes. And he seems to really like this character because she's been featured in quite a few of his books now. I think she's at least 6 appearances in 4 novels and 2 short stories. If you're not familiar with the books, she is one of the main characters from, I forget what channel it was, but they did a Mr. Mercedes TV show. And then HBO, who likes to be called Max now, did an excellent mini-series called The Outsider, which was phenomenal, very good stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. And while I am a little tired of Holly, as I always say, any new Stephen King is good Stephen King as far as I'm concerned. Number 2 on my list, I just got the statement today that a charge was put onto my account, so I'm sure I'll be hearing from my wife at some point today asking what that charge was for, but it was for my Shudder subscription. I really love Shudder. I can't get enough of it. I got it originally just for Joe Bob Briggs' Last Drive-In. I just fell in love with it. I'm not sure why I thought I wouldn't, but also it's a great and not so great cheesy horror movies on there, as well as some excellent documentaries. And as mentioned before, gotta love me some Joe Bob Briggs' Last Drive-In. And number 1 on my list of things I'm looking most forward to in 2025 in the world of horror and macabre is none other than another year of Macabre Cast. I look forward to each and every week, like many of the other monster kids out there. I am a proud member of the Drac Pack. I have to thank you, Doc. You really created a great little community where people can come and share their love of horror and macabre, as several other people have pointed out. But I hope you know how much we appreciate it. And in just 13 short weeks, we will be looking at the 100th episode. So I can't wait to see what you pull out of the coffin for that. As always, Doc, keep bringing the macabre to all your Allegiance to Monster Kids as we look forward to each and every week. And make mine Macabre Cast.
Thank you, Horror Chat. That truly warmed the cockles of my heart. So appreciated to get feedback like that. Touches my heart. And the 28 Days films, the DVDs, I have both of those first 2 movies, but I don't know that I can let go of them. Of course, I'll have to see what they're going for before I hold that statement.
Cockles? Cockles? Oh my. You know how much Horror Chat loves Stephen King. So now you have to tell the Monster Kids the movie about the movie that you just watched. Because, if I'm correct, that was a Stephen King story, wasn't it? The one on Netflix.
Right you are, Karis, from the book by Stephen King containing 4 novellas called If It Bleeds. I watched a film based on the story, Mr. Harrigan's Phone. Now, I will say right out of the gate that I really like this coming-of-age film, much in the vein that I liked Stand By Me, based on the novella The Body. The basis of this story is Donald Sutherland plays an aging billionaire who chooses Craig, a young lad, to read classic books to him for pay. This continues and, over the years, and he develops a close relationship with the old guy that's much tighter than the relationship he has with his own father. During this time, Craig introduces Mr. Harrigan to what's become the newest and biggest thing, the cell phone. Mr. Harrigan at first is resistant to the technology, but when he learns he can have instant stock reports and basically control of his fortune from the palm of his hand, he's eager to learn. Eventually, Mr. Harrigan passes on to the other side, and at the wake, Craig puts this guy's cell phone into the coffin with him because he felt it should be with him. After the burial, Craig starts receiving strange coded text messages from Mr. Harrigan's phone. The film is very well made and acted, and I never felt like I knew what was going to happen next. One of the other novellas in this book called If It Bleeds, is The Life of Chuck, which will soon be a major motion picture directed by Mike Flanagan. Now, I've never read this book, but Flanagan has yet to disappoint me, so I'm very much looking forward to that.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is definitely a public service announcement. I have to get on here and tell y'all what's going on.
Monster Kids, how many times have you heard this? I'd really like to go out tonight with you, but I don't have any horror merch. Well, look no further. Your friend will survive with a Macabre cast t-shirt and my ugly mug in the front. Sorry, Kara, she didn't make the cut. And only $13, and that covers your shipping. Yes, you heard correctly. The only thing standing in the way of you looking cool is $13. Deep Death Dive. Today's Deep Death Dive is considered to be the godfather of found footage movies. Cannibal Holocaust from 1980 is not for the faint of heart or the weak of stomach. That being said, this film is not and never has been my cup of tea, but it absolutely holds its own in the horror kingdom. The setup is simple, and it's genius. A team of documentary filmmakers disappear in the Amazon rainforest while filming indigenous cannibalistic tribes. 6 months later, an anthropologist and guides set out to find the missing crew. A race to recover gruesome, unspeakable atrocities caught on the missing film crew's unedited footage. The early 80s cannibal genre burnt out quickly, and I can't say I miss it. The most upsetting stuff to sit through in this film is the real-life killings of animals. I have one word: turtle. If you know, you know. How this was allowed? Well, because the indigenous people hired as extras ate the animals after the death scenes were filmed. So the poor creatures weren't killed in vain, I guess. It's disgusting. And there are versions out there with the animal mutilations removed. The human deaths, although fake, and because the actors were unknowns and asked to make themselves scarce after the film was finished, created the biggest controversy of all. When it premiered in Italy, Italian director Ruggero Deodato, writer Gianna Franco, I know I'm massacring these names, and producer Francisco Paligi were convicted of obscenity, and the film was seized. The film's impalement scene of women was one of the several scenes examined by the court to determine whether it was staged or genuine. The film was released from seizure in 1982, and it was banned, however, in Australia, South Africa, along with several other countries. I vaguely remember Scary Larry telling me he went to a screening of this film at the Coolidge Corner Theater a few years back. Was anyone else in the theater scary? Wondering if it was empty or packed. I don't recommend this film. In the same vein, I would never recommend I Spit in Your Grave. But I am very moved by its score. It's difficult not to like. One of my favorite filmmakers of the last 20 years, Eli Roth, did a fantastic tip of the hat to this lost genre called The Green Inferno in 2013. A group of student activists travel to the Amazon to save the rainforest, only to discover they are not alone. An early gruesome one from Eli Roth, but one that Dark Mark highly recommends. Taglines for Cannibal Holocaust were like this: rip out, barbecue, devour. How long can you take it? Another one is the most controversial movie of all time. Another was the most savage, brutal film in modern history. And here's one I like. This one goes all the way. And that's this week's Deep Death Dive, 1980s Cannibal Holocaust. Do you have a film that you'd like to have me do a deep death dive? Please, let me know.
Seems it never rains in Southern California. Seems I've often heard that kind of talk before. It never rains in California, but girl, don't they warn ya? It pours, man, it pours. Is this something you could share with the rest of us, Amazing Larry?
Greetings, Dark Mark and Karis the Little Mummy. Scary Larry here. Oh, it's the second week of deer camp and all the guys are here. We drink, play cards, and shoot the bull, but never shoot no deer. The only time we leave the camp is when we go for beer. The second week of deer camp, the greatest time of year. This goofy song kept playing in my head as I watched the absolute train wreck that is Deer Camp 86. Basically, the plot goes, it's the 80s, there's a group of friends heading to a remote deer camp in northern Michigan. They stop to fill up, and one of the group simply has to get drunk in the bar next door. There's a Native American bartender who ends up murdered, and something in the woods is on a warpath of revenge, a version of a Wendigo or Wendigo, however you pronounce it. Every ridiculous Hollywood stereotype is in here, clearly written by someone who knows nothing about hunting, or the 80s, or men in general. It was meant to showcase the abuse of Native Americans, especially indigenous women, but it completely missed the mark. While it was free on Prime, it cost me 90 minutes of my life. I'm never getting those 90 minutes back. 1.5 stars for this turd in the punch bowl.
I know how my mind works, and I would have skipped that movie based on the title alone, but that's not saying much for me. As always, so great hearing from you, Scary. Hope to hear from you again soon. And like the sign said, Scary sees it, so we don't have to.
It's my kind of town.
You want I should wash the dead bugs off the windshield?
And Karis and Monster Kids. Hope everybody's doing well. It's New Year, and yesterday I went to go see Nosferatu. I almost said Nostradamus. Nosferatu, but I got there 10 minutes late, and I can't go into a movie when it's halfway through, so I didn't see it yesterday, but I'm going to see it tomorrow because I can't wait after listening to all the reviews you guys gave it. I'm not really a big fan of remakes, but this one, the way you've described the artistic stuff, I just really am looking forward to seeing. I'm also looking forward to seeing Lily Rose Depp. I've seen her in a couple of movies that I would like to bring up, by the way. The movies, well, they're sort of horror movies. They're horror comedies. And they're a trilogy, but the third one isn't out yet. And I know Mark is not looking forward to that one. But the movies were Yoga Hosers, which was more of a comedy than anything. It was really silly. But Tusk was really good. That movie I recommend highly. And the third one is going to be called Moose Jaws. And I know Mark is not happy about that. But I don't think Kevin Smith would disrespect the Jaws franchise because I know he loves Jaws. But I'm looking forward to seeing that and just to see how the trilogy ends, because in case you didn't know, Johnny Depp is in all three movies and he's really funny in those movies. But it's still a horror movie. Don't be fooled. And Kevin Smith made one other horror movie. Well, I don't know if you call it a horror movie, but it was pretty creepy. The movie Red State. If you get a chance to see that, that was pretty good. And I'm still keeping my ear to the ground for more recommendations about movies to see. I always listen to Grim Kim because I love her recommendations for foreign films because I love foreign films. There's one I'm going to watch next week. I don't know if anybody's heard of it. I don't really know too much about it, but somebody told me it was good. It's a Japanese film called Audition. I'm going to watch that, and maybe I'll get back and let you know what I think of that. But basically, I just need more movies to watch because, believe it or not, I don't have Shudder yet. And I think I might get it. And I'm kind of like watched everything on Tubi already. So, but I'll be listening. And until next week, I hope you guys have a great week. And thanks for, putting on this great show for me to listen to every Monday. Bye.
I get a bitter taste in my mouth just saying Moose Jaws. Look, I admire Kevin Smith. I do. He sold his comic book collection, maxed out his credit cards to make his first film. You want to talk about risking it all for a dream and for passion. And luckily, he succeeded. He's a talented, funny, knowledgeable guy. But I will never understand Yoga Hosers. And that's okay. I don't have to. Somebody out there does. Apparently, it happens to be Chicago Tina. Yeah! Moose Jaws? No. I won't hear of it. Now, all that being said, Red State, if you have never seen this film, stop. Find it. Rent it. This movie caught me completely unawares. I will say nothing about this plot. Don't read about it going cold. And that ending, am I right, Chicago Tina? That ending? In Chicago Tina, honestly, at this point, the huge horror fan that you are, the fact that you don't have Shudder, utter blasphemy. Blasphemy. But hearing this show, this cheesy, lighthearted show about all things horror, makes your Monday, makes everything I make Karis do worthwhile. Always look forward to hearing you call in to us. Tina from Chicago, thank you, and have a great week.
And now, our foreign correspondent, Grim Kim, with the Grim Facts.
Hey, Dark Mark. Hi, Lil Karis. Hi, Monster Kids. How are ya? Grim Kim checking in. I have not seen Nosferatu yet. I would love to. But my 23-year-old son, Kevin, saw it, and he was reiterating what you guys were saying about the cinematography was amazing. And he really enjoyed it. He loves Robert Eggers as a director in general. His breakdown for the 4 Robert Eggers movies that he has seen and really enjoyed would be number 1, The Lighthouse, number 2, The Northman, number 3, Nosferatu, number 4, Witch. I have to see The Northman, and he was telling me about it. He's like, I don't know if you like it. It's not horror. I'm like, I like things besides horror, believe it or not. And actually, it really always gets good. I always look at great reviews of that movie. I am interested in seeing it. I very much enjoyed The Witch. The Lighthouse, although I haven't, I say all the time I need to give it a second watch, because that was just cray. And I dozed in the middle, so I missed some parts of it. And now that I know, that it's an allegory of sorts, I'd like to go back and watch it again. And of course, the ending is unforgettable. I do remember that. But anyway, I just wanted to throw that little mini review from my son Kevin in there. You can come up with a moniker for him, Mark. The last 3 nights I should be finishing tonight is because I dozed in the middle, then I have to rewind and decide how far back I want to rewind and all that. Squid Games 2. Yes, very, very enjoyable. I am not disappointed in the least. A lot of character development. They did with the first one as well, but everyone was just so fixed on the games themselves that maybe that wasn't really piquing your interest. But this time, the character and the dynamics are really more what the story is about, I would say. And it's super enjoyable. I'm really enjoying it, and I would definitely recommend it. I love that it's like 7 episodes. I don't know, they seem like they're an hour. Maybe I'm wrong. But, yeah, I really enjoyed that this week. And hopefully I'll get to Nosferatu one of these days, and I'm certain already I'm going to love it. And movies like that, I've decided I'm just going to just enjoy it as the standalone film. I'm just going to enjoy each one for what it is, Maybe I'll do a triple header of all 3 Nosferatus over the next couple of weeks. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, anyway, stay warm out there. It's just, I'm up at the beach and the wind is just howling. And obviously I'm not worried about a tree falling into the townhouse I'm in. But that wind is just like relentless and haunting and a creepy tinge to it, because it is just a howling wind. And anyway, that's January for you. What can we do? At least there's no precipitation, knock on wood. Okay, hang in there. Keep finding those tiny shreds of joy, which is why I adore my Macabre Mondays, the end of a long day. All right, take care, everyone. Bye.
Wind is an understatement. I feel like I'm on the set of The Old Dark House. And yes, The Old Dark House with Boris Karloff. So let's get that right. Squid Games, I think there are Squid Games people and non-Squid Games people, and I think I'm the latter. I will address Kevin a name, but it would be cooler if we got a call-in message from him. But I'm thinking Killdozer Kevin, and that's me being extra nice, because that's a cheesy TV movie from 1974 about a spirit-like being that takes over a bulldozer. Not a proud film. Killdozer Kevin. And Tiny Shreds of Joy? Yeah, the Drac Pack. Monster kids that dared to go further than just listen. Thanks, Grim Kim. Hope to hear from you again soon. And say hi to Grim Twin. Weird how invincible we feel in our 20s. Now in my 50s, I'm afraid every time something feels strange or something new hurts, we all of a sudden have a different perception of time, as friends we've known since high school pass on to the other side, and sometimes completely unexpected and unforeseen. Time, the true silent serial killer that creeps up behind us that we never saw coming. All those moments in youth killing time, no, wasting time, and now time has the upper hand. Be good to yourself. This is Dark Mark, signing off. See you soon. I hope.
This is a Macabre Theater production.